Technical difficulties, people. Here we are.
Oh, now we're live.
Brett's fault.
Well, at least we got to enjoy the intro.
You know what? So we just wanted to be very for us to get started.
Hey, we're live.
I'm throwing the comments up on the screen, and we're not even live.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, sorry guys. We said hello to
though.
Gilster. We said hello to Lack.
All that effing figures, right?
Rex, we had a whole big thing about you. You missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
We missed it too.
He was just telling us a little heartfelt story.
Yeah, too bad you'll never hear it.
Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah.
Yep. Just talking about how busy we are.
Anyway,
chasing our dreams.
Long day at work, tired.
Lack said awkward.
Yeah,
we're training Joe today, so
yeah. It's funny because I do this every week on Sunday.
First day bad.
I just it's just like technical difficulties.
That's funny, dude.
We'll call it that. That's why normally all my dreams just end at the couch because I'm not good at any of the stuff that you're doing.
In other news, we like to collect stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
We're sitting here talking, running a show, and I'm like reading these comments. I'm like, what are they talking about? Waiting for I'm missing the joke.
Jennifer,
I think we all
I can't say it. Joke. How do you say it?
Oh, Hennekins. That's my mom.
How did you say it?
Hennekins.
Hennekins, okay. Like Heineken's almost.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's
okay. I can't do Heineken, but I can do some of this.
The proper.
So cheers to Miss Henneken.
Cheers to you. So you were telling us a story on how you like to make people smile.
I was making it up as I went, but no. Do you just talking about just being busy with the laser stuff and the side gig stuff. It's bringing joy to some people, and that's really makes me feel good. It's rather than getting the attention for it, and it's like I already have a full-time job. It's not like I need to do something else, but it's.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's healthy to chase, your dreams and goals anyway. Because if I could replace the job with what I'm doing, that'd be awesome. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But
you're having fun. That's what counts.
Yeah, I'm having fun. But there's days where you get way more busy than you anticipate.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, whoa, so we got to slow down here. Slow your roll, jabroni. It's, Cat's in there. Lack's in there. Mega Demon.
What's up, Cat?
Sorry, I got the chat just flying now.
Yeah.
It's on fire.
It's on fire.
Gilster. So that's, if people are missing me over on my regular channel, it's I'm staying in touch with the people that matter. And they're staying in touch with me because they care, and I'm
okay. For the people who haven't heard from him, you don't matter.
I don't give a shit. No, I've just been staying. Nice. I've just been really busy trying to get all that going, and I'm trying to link up with people in the community that are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, something's going to have to suffer for my time here because I got things I got to learn,
Mm-hmm.
So Rex has helped me out immensely by letting me supply him with some things to say, all right, that's cool, but you need to change this. We need this to be bigger so I can do this. So that's like really helps me get back into developing those business kind of relationships. And we're friends, so I don't want to cross that line too hard, but it's like there's some trust there where I'm like, hey, don't just drop me. Don't just go to somebody else. Like, tell me what I can do to make it right, make it better. And then we can do something cool, that we're both involved in. Doesn't really matter about the money thing so much, as long as you can cover some costs and get something out there. Maybe that helps you move on to the next thing, Yeah. So I was doing those little autograph plaques with him and trying to do like an acrylic stand. I'm still working on. So it's like I got a lot of little prototypey type things going on. So then I got into glass. So I made a beer mug. I think I might have sent you the picture. So Joel Hasse, who's like an amazing prop builder and just the dude's an artist.
Yep.
We talked today and he says, hey, you have my blessing. You want to put my logo on something, put it out to help you put it out there. So I'm trying to put together, improve his beer mug so I can get his beer mug out because I got a bunch of them I'm going to be sending him this week. And then I think Rex might get a couple. And who knows? Some people out there,
Yep.
Thanks, Rex. I appreciate it. But like, you know what I mean? So like we're in this thing and I have this channel where it's called collecting. And I think I got turned around for a while where I wasn't doing so much collecting and talking about collecting. And I feel like the crafting stuff kind of goes right along with collecting because that's what I want to do is like things for your DTOF, you know,
Right.
like a little stand or something or a display for lightsaber hilts and things like that. That's kind of like my sort of angle into it. And I was doing like how many show reviews and talking about the movies and all this. I'm like, I'm not even talking about collecting. What the hell am I doing? You know? So I just wanted to kind of straighten out a little bit on what I wanted to do and just get back on what I wanted to do.
You might
Cover
be
call, yeah.
You're evolving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
evolving. Yeah, it's like so like I said, 3 years ago when I started the channel, I was on a podcast channel, and Collecting with Cool was a Monday night like segment on that other channel, and I would do it late, like 8:30 p.m. my time, so 9:30 your time, Joe.
Yeah. Right.
Started getting like 15, 20 people showing up on Monday nights. I'm like, well, shit, this is more or less what I want to be doing, so maybe I'll just go do collecting stuff. So I fall asleep during lives. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that before too. That thank God that was on a member
Oh,
stream.
Joe has done that before too.
I've done that.
I've had people straight yelling at me during streams to wake me back
I've
up.
done that, but I had that video deleted. So
Yeah, he had
No, I
video.
cut the little clip of me nodding out, and I just sent it out to people just to get
I
their laugh.
wasn't nodding out. I was full blown snoring. I was
Yeah.
out, dude.
I
Like,
really wish
I
I would
was-
have.
I
At
was
my
over here on
birthday.
these chairs back here, reclined, and I
Oh
was
no.
fucking knocked out.
It
Like,
was
I had-
It was a wrestling stream,
it
wasn't it?
was.
Yeah.
It
Were you
was.
watching
I mean,
a
so that
pay-per-view or
explains a
something?
little bit, but
I mean, and those go like 3-4 hours. Like
Mhm.
I'm tired, man. Like
You need an intermission. Go
I
take
was
a nap.
fucking out. I was out.
and it wasn't the best pay-per-view either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So I do have a few excuses, but knock on wood, it hasn't happened again yet.
We should have left it up and be like, guy falls asleep on wrestling stream.
Yeah,
This is
no
what
shit.
happens when you don't entertain me.
Go
you know?
viral. But that's like
WWE.
back at my birthday, I was drinking heavily and I was gaming with my buddy, and all of a sudden I hear him yelling at me, "Hey, hey, hey!" I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Dude, you were straight snoring, and I'm
Yeah.
streaming this." I'm like, thank God I'm not showing my face.
But I mean, I've done that. Like in high school, I was talking to a girl on the phone, and I was out for like 2
Oh,
hours,
everybody's
and
done
I
that.
woke up.
Because you probably talked to her for 7 hours
Dude,
straight.
I woke up 2 hours later, and she was still on there going, "Joe, you there?" And I'm like,
was
she might be
still
a
talking.
keeper. You know,
That
she
was
may be a
still
keeper
talking.
for
I
a
think
little
that
while
was
there, but
fine.
yeah,
What's up, Joe?
must have been doing something right.
That's hilarious.
Oh no.
So then, once I transitioned around and made
What's up,
that
Joe?
its own channel, then it was a question of like content, right? So like I was doomed from the start. My very first 3 videos were reactions to Boba Fett. It's like that's not collecting. What are you doing? You're
Right.
confusing people, you know?
Yeah.
So then I got straightened out just doing weekly collecting streams and just basically like pickups, you know, because I was doing just a ton of vintage buying. So every week I was just showing stuff, and then I'd get into where I was talking about the history of the figures, you know, how they came about, where they're from, whatever. And then people used to do like their channel would just be like willy nilly everything about their lives. You know, I'm fixing a dryer one day, I'm playing a game one day, I'm doing the scripted content one day.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't really want to do that. So I have a gaming channel. And then with the crafting, I was doing it on the collecting channel. And there's going to be live tomorrow on the collecting channel, but it's
What's
going
up,
to be
Dre?
split. It's going to be split. So, Dre, what's up?
What's up, Joe?
What's up? Yeah,
And
I've been
then,
there too, dude. Like I was doing the toy hunting things, and
yeah,
I got personally, I got so bored doing them.
yeah.
I still wouldn't
It
mind,
wears you
like,
out.
I
Wears
think
you
that's
out.
what I think that's how a lot of people start off on their channels. I mean, you watch some of the big guys, they talk about when they started off, you know, they kind of feel it out, they figure it out, you know,
Yeah.
like, oh, this isn't I'm not
Yeah,
just
and I
doing it for me, so I'll do this now. Like
yeah,
you evolve. You're
I
just
wouldn't
I
mind doing like conventions and things like that. I'll be doing
yeah, that'd be
ICCC
cool.
again, but like
But you know,
I don't know. Just
that's
I was
where I
bored.
thought that I would have this like strict direction, and right off the bat, I was already breaking off from it. And then my biggest video was 18,000 views of me making a droid at Disney World, you know.
Hmm.
And my podcast channel did the same thing. We started doing like little reviews and stuff. And I did a coffee machine. Keurig made this coffee maker that did like the little espresso pods too. And it got like 25,000 views. So then me and my buddy were like, oh, well, I guess we're doing reviews now. And then we try to do reviews and it doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
So it's like you end up chasing stuff all over the place and you just can't do that. And I think what it boils down to is make the content and do this live streams that you would be willing to watch and you would want to see. And don't make it so much about yourself. You know, like if Joe and I and Colin, if the three of us were going to do a drinking live stream every week
I thought about that.
where we talked about a product and each one of us had it and we
Hmm.
legit try to break it down and like talk about it,
Yeah,
right?
I've
So
actually proposed that to people to
so
do that. Yeah.
that's like as direct and pointed as you could make it.
Yeah.
And for people that like to drink, they might be into whiskeys and things that might be really cool to watch, you know.
Yeah.
And then if you do that for 3 or 4 weeks and then the next thing you know somebody comes across your channel and you're live streaming yourself playing Pac-Man, they're going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I, rather than worrying about all that shit, I'm just relaxing, having a good time. The workshop stuff is so cool because, as most people know or don't know or will figure out here in a minute, you know, Joe and I are also on a stream show, Rogue 5 Cantina, where we talk about Star Wars stuff. And it's pretty pointed. We're talking to artists, we're talking to people that are involved in film prop making. We're talking about stuff that's for sale from the Star Wars universe. We're talking about projects that people are working on. So it's pretty narrow in scope. It's
Hmm.
right there where it needs to be, and it's all about that content. And the cool thing that I started doing was like, hey, that's kind of what I'm doing on the side when we talk to some of these guys. Why don't you come over here and do this stream with me? And then instead of talking about stuff from Rogue 5, how did you make that cabinet? How did you make that prop? Joel, where'd you get that hair? Like he was
Hmm.
making a tauntaun,
What's a
and I'm
flex?
like, where the hell did you get the hair for that thing? He's like, that's
That's what
yak
I always
hair.
wondered.
I got it on Amazon or whatever, you know. So he's like
Hmm.
letting you see what he's doing with the
Yeah.
camera right over his workbench, and I'm like, that's so cool because it's a little bit different than the tie-in to the movies and things like we do,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
So,
It's a
but
cool thing. It's a cool concept that you have because, like, whether we have somebody on there or not, but like for example, if we do, like, we'll have
yeah,
Joe Hazy on. Then in a couple of weeks, you'll have him
yeah,
actually doing
and I
what he
did
was
that,
talking
yeah,
about and
yeah.
showing on the show. So it works. It was a good idea, and
Oh yeah.
I
I
You
enjoyed
think
know,
watching that.
I
and
think
Andy came on there with them.
Hmm. Yeah.
the biggest thing is like consistency. I
Yep.
think just pick,
Yeah,
enjoy what you're doing and be consistent, and
yeah,
you'll build an authentic
yeah,
audience and following.
yeah.
I mean, it might take some time, but
Oh,
whatever.
I know.
If you're enjoying doing it, it shouldn't matter. Because I mean,
And you
dude,
know,
me
like,
and Joe were talking about it before. Like we watch people that chase that, they're trying to chase that popular thing. For
yeah,
one, it doesn't work. Two, other people catch on to that, and I think that hurts you also
Hmm.
because they're like, well, this
yeah,
dude's just doing it for, like people want to watch people that are legitimate. Like I don't want to watch some fake guy.
Yeah.
But like I know me, the consistency made a huge difference for me.
yeah.
Like
Well,
I
I
was
mean,
just posting
I,
stuff,
I,
and it was when I went to like a set schedule, it made the world of difference.
yeah, I did. You know, probably your first 6 months, I don't know that it matters, but it's like after that, it takes a solid 6 months probably of consistency to even get attention of 10 people, you know.
Hmm.
And I hit like 1,000 subscribers, and things were going pretty smooth. And the channel was growing and stuff, and I was constantly pumping out content, you know, consistently like 2 days a week, plus streams and stuff like that. And then my best friend got sick, so I was trying to help him, be there for him. And the channel's growing, and then I'm kind of going off the track because I'm dealing with him and dealing with other things. And um, I got back into it pretty heavy, and I went over 2,000 subscribers. And then by the time I got there, I was so kind of worn out mentally. And then this crazy dude's messaging me asking me to go do this other show, and I'm like, God dang, I got to do something else during the week. But then I thought, wait a minute, this might be cool because then I don't have to do anything on my stuff for a while.
There you go.
And actually giving your content a break when you've been pushing so hard. I mean, I was doing just this series of figures. Just this series of figures, I was doing like these little 1 minute videos on each one, and then I'm editing that. I'm pulling clips off of YouTube to have like this guy talk, so you hear him on the soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's a lot of
you
work.
know, it take you an hour to do a 1 minute video, and I was doing those like damn near daily, and then shorts, and then if I traveled somewhere like you said, Joe, going to a con or something, or I was Disney World, Galaxy's Edge, all that stuff, and hours and hours and hours into it, and it's just like, man, uh, I don't know. There's some people out there I just don't know how they do it, but then you find out that they're basically got people helping them, or they're hiring editors, or they've got somehow in their life that they can do a 14-hour day of just making videos for the week, and it's
Like
like,
Kyle Peterson does. Like
yeah,
he
I
told us
can't
on
do that.
here.
I
He
can't
told
do
us
that.
on this show last year that his
Because
Sundays
doesn't
are
he do
5 in the
something for
morning.
wrestling?
Yeah, he's like
He
mostly
had
into
something to do with
wrestling.
pro wrestling or something too.
Um,
I think I know Mattel like gets him involved in
yeah,
stuff.
Something, and
yeah,
then he would do Star Wars content like all day on one day a week, and it's like I can't do it. My wife and
yeah.
I work so much during the week that when we can have any time to do anything for each other or with each other, it's Friday night,
hmm
Saturday all day,
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I
Um,
thought it was kind of insane in a good way that he can do like 5 in the morning till 8, 9 at night,
yeah,
changing his shirt, making it look like different days and talking about
yeah,
different. I was like, wow, and he has kids and all that too. So it's like, how do
yeah,
you, and a full time job where he travels a lot. I'm like, how do you do this? Like, I got burned out just doing, and I never even had a set schedule. I tried to get my videos out once a week on the same day. It just didn't happen a lot of times. I
yeah.
was
That's
very
why
lazy with it.
it's so important to make sure you're having fun
hmm
doing it. Because I mean,
That's
it's
just it.
like a job. I mean, it is. It's like a
I
job.
was
Yeah.
I was hitting the 3 year. I was hitting the 3 year mark, and I was like, man, it's not that I don't enjoy it. I'm just not having fun right now. It's feeling a
Yep.
little bit like work. I need to chill. And I had the side gig stuff was happening, but I needed to make a decision on if I was going to invest in it further. And while I was kind of weighing that, I was like, well, I need to do something here. And if it means giving this stuff a rest for a little while, then that's what it means. And then I'm over on TikTok, and I think I have like 2,800 subscribers on TikTok, but TikTok's so different because I don't, it's like we build relationships here, we build friendships here, and I just don't know that I'm ready for all that over there because it's kind of wild. It's kind of Wild West,
Yeah.
and um, it's 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 so much faster paced, and you can get um, discovered, I guess, by people better because all you do is you can tap lives, so anybody that's live will be right there based on what your interests are, and you can just start scrolling. And
hmm
there'll be 10 guys playing games, two people selling stuff, one person dressed like a clown doing a handstand, with their hair on fire and just craziness. And then you come
hmm
back around to the guys gaming and doing stuff you like or Star
Right.
Wars or whatever. And I'll notice when I'm on there that like 600 people will pass through, maybe five will stay. But like that would take me a month to do that over here.
True. Yeah.
So I see that. And then everybody had this fear of, oh, it's China, they're taking our information, all this. I'm like, look, dude, if you got a cell phone, they've already been doing that for 20 years anyway. So whatever. Um, so like with TikTok, I feel like TikTok, if you look at, like, I studied all that stuff. I studied all these gurus about getting your channel going and all this stuff and all these, I don't know, prescribed ways of doing it, the YouTube method or what the Mr. Beast method or whatever. And when you look at all the big numbers, there's 35 million people every day on YouTube doing stuff. So like right now, if we were to be sort of conscious about our friends, oh man, I don't want to step on Jose's stream at 8:30. No offense to us or him, there's 3 million other guys live at the exact same time,
Yep.
from pottery to art to karate to
Mhm.
weightlifting. There's a dude in a gym
Right.
with a phone on, you know what I mean? Uh, there's just this huge weird world out there that we don't see because that algorithm follows your interests, and they don't let you see it. They don't want you to see it. They don't want you to escape. We
Mhm.
got you. We want to keep you right here. But I think that probably in the next year, if some things loosen up about TikTok, I feel like the numbers game's going to really tip their way. They're doing all these things that if you look at what Twitter doesn't do, if you look at stuff that Instagram's not doing for people, if you look at things that Facebook took away from people and the restrictions that YouTube's putting on people, and you look at like Kick and Rumble and all these DTube, they're your powers are weak because
Mhm.
TikTok's just a behemoth too,
Right.
and it's growing and it's catching up to the big brother YouTube, and YouTube. I'm not saying it's going to go away, but the stuff they're doing is it's like suppressive of getting your quality out because content out, because if you get like monetized, it's just ads everywhere. It's just commercial bonanza. And
Mhm.
I'm to the point where I don't even like, I took that down to 99 cents. I give away 10 a month. Every freaking number I got, I've paid for except for like 5 guys. So I'm just doing that to have like an exclusive little club I can get with on a Friday night and have a drink and bullshit with,
Yeah.
and give them badges, and we're the cool kids, right? So I'm like, you know what? I might turn that off and just start doing this shit over on TikTok. Because at
Makes
least
sense.
like last night, I had a bunch of work to do. So I had my phone. And I'm like, hell with it. I'm just going to turn on TikTok and see what happens. 120 viewers. 5 people were in the chat. One dude that I know was playing games with me with the likes. He gave me like 2,000 likes. I'm like, bro, your finger's going to break the screen. He's just playing, sitting there tapping. I was like,
Nice.
gaming the system. I like it. 2 viewers, 3,000 likes.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that over here. I mean,
But
at
do
the
you
same
think
time,
they'll limit things like that on TikTok as it gets discovered
I
more and
mean,
more and more? But they
that,
haven't yet.
well,
But
I mean, look at, dude, I had 53 not strikes, copyright notices last year.
wow.
53. It's like I felt like I couldn't do anything without getting a goddamn email from
Dude,
them saying,
I was just talking about that with Joe about
I've
the
already, dude, I got one this week already. I didn't do anything. But I go on TikTok and I can play with the music I want to listen to and all this. And when they talk about the artist rights and stuff, and it's like Spotify gets shit because they don't pay. But like, if TikTok would go to the music industry and say, "Hey, we're going to play your music. We want to play your, like Atlanta, Warner Brothers Records. We want to play everybody in your catalog. How much do you want a year? Give us $30 million and some ads, and we'll call it good, right?" That's what I think YouTube should be doing, but they don't want to give up the revenue, so they want to sell ads, take your money to put music like that in your videos. You have to pay for it, and
dude,
if you start making ad revenue, you got to give up a split, and then it's
I
like
would be fine if YouTube charged me like $10 a month just so I could
they
play whatever music I want to play.
they
Like,
have it now like that. It's in beta, but they have the new artist music thing, creator music thing, where you can, like, for instance, you could pick AC/DC Highway to Hell to use for your intro. You can pay a one time like $15 or $150, whatever it is. There's some on there that are $1,500.
well, yeah, that's
So
a
you
little.
so you're basically, in effect, you're buying a license to use it for the
Yeah,
year,
Mhm.
and then you got to renew that all the time. And it's like, okay, that's cool that you're allowing me that, but at the same time, I can go over here on TikTok and just play it anyway, and they don't give a shit, and
right.
they're taking care of it. And it's like they're making so much ad revenue. They said that YouTube gave out 70 billion with a B, $70 billion in ad revenue um,
Wow.
in the last, I think, 3 years. That is a lot of money that
Yeah.
they're generating. And then they come out in August of 22 and they said, by the way, if you're not monetized, we reserve the right to run ads on your content, and we will. So basically, if you noticed any of your videos getting over like 300 or 400 views, all of a sudden there'd be an ad. So like, I want to go watch my friend. He said there's a funny video of him and his kid cutting the grass. I want to go watch it, and it's a little viral and it got like 10,000 views. Now there's ads all over it. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
can't. Now I notice it's getting worse. So, um, but they, you know, I mean, they do. They've got Google behind them. They've got the monster behind them for the money and stuff. They've got the number two audio podcast platform now behind Spotify. It's overtaken Apple, or
Wow.
Apple's number one, YouTube, and then Spotify for podcasts. But music,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is Spotify. But um, so like, I look at all that stuff, and I mean, I could tell you 10 different ways to Sunday, like how to come up with ideas for stuff, but then I never go do it. So then I don't have any content that gets over 100 views or 1,000 views or whatever, you know. It's just because, like Colin said, you get that consistency. Well, that consistency comes back to what Joe said. It's like, I got to lose sleep to do this, to be consistent. And I'm tired. I don't want to do it. I
Yeah.
just want to have fun with my friends and not worry about that stuff. And
Yeah.
then,
To be honest, I have way more fun doing these shows like
yeah,
this than I did
yeah.
doing
I
what I was
mean,
doing before.
dude, like I said, I started in 2020, in the fall of 2020. Me and my buddy started a podcast, and then we said, well, we'll do our podcast on YouTube, and then we'll distribute it out to the audio platforms, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So then you end up becoming a YouTuber, and then you're thinking, well, how can I make money at this? And then so then I got monetized, and then when you see what it takes to even make $1, you're like, oh fuck, there's no way.
Right.
There's no way. I mean, 1 million views for 5Gs average before tax. Um, I ain't even, you know, I got to get 100,000 views. I got 100,000 views after like 3 years. So, I mean, there's guys, Jose is out there killing it. Geek Strong's out there killing it with over 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys like Vern Rants. Vern's got like
Yep.
60,000 subs, you know. Them guys are
Oh,
awesome.
speaking of Geek Strong, what's up?
Dino.
Oh, Geek Strong. What's up, man?
Oh, what's up, Blue Sasquatch?
And those guys are
Hey, Blue
awesome, but
Sasquatch.
they are something I'm not. They are very consistent. They are out
Mm-hmm.
there quite often, you know.
You have to be.
So
That's the
I'm
key.
not downing anything any of these guys do. Just, I'm talking my experience. Where I'm at now in my life with all this stuff is that I just want to like have fun, make
Mm-hmm.
some friends, ask my friends to come watch a stream, shoot the shit with them for an hour, then try to come and watch theirs. You know, I try. There's just so many people doing it. It's tough, but I feel like over on TikTok, it's almost like changing the channel on TV, whereas on YouTube, you got to kind of chase it a little bit. Um,
Right.
my only complaint there is like when somebody posts a thumbnail and says they got a stream coming and they do it on other platforms, they need to make sure they put a way to get there, like a link.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make your viewers search. Give them the button right then and there.
Yeah.
Let them tap it or copy and paste it.
Yeah, that's true. And I've never been good at doing that.
No, but
I
I'm just saying, like a tip I guess I could
mm-hmm.
give is when you're, because that's what a lot of people do is if you know Gary V would tell everybody a couple years ago, go make content on every platform you can, but make it lead back to the one that you want to live on. So like if you want to be a YouTuber, put something on TikTok, but when it's on TikTok, make sure there's something they can press or copy and paste that takes them back to your YouTube, you know, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or a snippet from our live conversation. I put it on TikTok tomorrow to help promote your channel. I need to make sure
Right.
there's a link there, you know, stuff like that. Just as simple as you can. But Blue Sasquatch in the house. He
All right,
likes
what's
sharks.
going on with the clowns riding sharks?
He
Yeah,
likes
what's up
sharks.
with that?
He's a
I'm out of the
Canadian
loop.
guy. He's a Canadian guy. He likes sharks.
Oh, okay. That is
I like
okay.
sharks too.
But I tell you, man, like the other night, Joe and I got into a conversation with our brother and sister after the show, and we got into a little bit of stuff about mental health and chasing these things and feeling this sort of helpless feeling of needing these numbers can really strain in people's resolve and mess with their heads, you know. And there's people out there that are hurting and getting bullied, and crazy stuff goes on in conversations that we don't know about.
Mhm.
And I'll hear from some of these guys that they just want to quit doing this stuff and give up because of this stuff going on. I think that's horseshit. Um, I know a few people that have had to step away from doing this stuff because of sort of trolls and things like that. And it's
Right.
like I try to encourage them not to do that as best I can. But like I said, I mean, I personally know at least 4 people in the last 2 years
Mhm.
that have said I'm quitting. And it's like, man, I watched them build up this whole big thing just to share a stream, and nobody's there. And um, it's like you gotta help them understand that yeah, part of it's you, part of it's what you're doing, but the other part of it is the platform you're on is not really helping you like you would expect it to or think it will. Like
Mhm.
you gotta. I don't know. It's like you gotta look at your content if you're gonna make content, and if it sucks, it sucks. I mean, I had almost 200,000 views. I took so much content off of my channel that I think I had like 80,000 views
Wow.
because it was horseshit. I'm going back looking at these videos going, this is just Charles Barkley style. This is terrible.
Oh yeah. Mine were terrible.
This
Mine were
is
terrible.
terrible. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like, but I had some that I thought, hey, that was cool. Because then I went back and said, what would I watch? Like, and people say don't ever delete, but I have like the master copies of stuff or whatever. But I was like, man, that's not good at all. Get that out of there. It's only got 20 views. It's 2 years old. Delete it. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to see
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Unfortunately, doing any social media or any of this content creating, you're gonna have to deal with trolls, and
Oh yeah.
the best thing you can do is just don't engage them.
Yeah.
You engage them, and then that's their
That's what
win.
they want.
They
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Some people just can't handle it. I mean,
I
they
mean,
just
I
troll.
I
Like
mean, dude,
I
I had some people, however they got a hold of me, um, and I don't know where they would be from, but they would message me on Instagram to say, I saw your channel on YouTube and your search optimization is all wrong. I can help you. Give me
oh
$50 and I can get you 1,000 subs and all that. I'm like, I can't do that because as enticing as that is, the minute I do that, the YouTube system will know and squash your channel, kill it, and then you're really screwed.
Mhm.
Um, but then the thing that pisses me off about that is YouTube basically will do that for you if you do it with them because they have that new feature now. So like after your stream, you go into the studio and there's the 3 little dots by the information, and
Mhm.
it'll say, what does it say? Not buy an ad, run a campaign or something like that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's
So like 3 years ago, I had that video that was blowing up about the droids, and I had no idea about any of this stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put $15 down and see what happens, and it went even further. It got like another 10,000 views or whatever. Well, come to find out that those views don't count towards monetization, and I got a bunch of subs, and those subs don't count towards monetization. So now I'm like, wait a minute, I gave you fuckers money, and
They screwed you. Yeah.
you're the house. I'm paying the house. You're boot. That's why never again. I'm not doing that
no,
ever again.
Yeah, they
Never
got you.
again. It's just
Yeah.
really frustrating when you play those games with yourself, and uh, it can get in your head.
Mhm.
You can get in your head about it. Dean says I have over 1,500 videos and shorts, and I would never delete any. It's a creation I made, but I'm a hoarder. Well, I have all my videos still on a hard drive. It's just that they were like literally on my YouTube channel for 2 years with like 20 views, and I was like,
I actually appreciate my
get them
old one.
out of here.
I went back and I was watching some not like a couple weeks ago, and I was
Yeah,
like, man, these are like
to see the
I mean,
evolution.
I was coming over. I was getting over COVID when I first started and pneumonia, so you could tell I was pretty sick still. But I was like, man, how far I've come! Like,
Yeah,
it's amazing.
My
Like,
my first one was funny. I watched it the other day. This is a new channel. This is what I'm gonna do.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was a
yeah.
fucking mess.
I have all
And
my
that didn't never got any better either. So I just
every week I was doing a stream. on Monday nights. So what I did was I went back and just made new thumbnails for them and
Yep.
just put them in order.
Yeah.
I didn't delete those because they were fun. Some of them were pretty fun, you know.
They say that's actually good to like change your thumbnails or
Yeah.
change your titles.
And
That can actually help you out.
I was getting a lot of views on the shorts.
Yeah.
But like doing a review, I was horrible at it.
Yeah.
Here's my new figure. It's pretty nice. We'll see you next week. You know, like it was bad, man. It's not my thing. I don't know.
The also in your studio, when you go to the studio app on the computer, down in the lower right, every week they make a video. The people that work at YouTube, and they'll tell you, here's what's coming out new, or here's what we're working on. And this was right around the time I started the channel, and they said we're doing an experiment on shorts. Basically, they were caving into TikTok. So, like, I did a bunch of shorts at Disney World, and every one of them got like 3,500, 4,000 views. Awesome. I come home, it was like a week later, they say in the little video, the experiment's over, you know, continue doing what you're doing. And none of them got over 150 views. I'm like, they're opening a spigot somewhere.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do it all the time. So I don't get it, you know. And then if because the other thing was too, like I was gonna game, so I had the podcast. I didn't want to do anything else on the podcast channel, so I was gaming on Twitch. And you talk about feeling like you're alone. Like it's so hard to get discovered on Twitch because the way they do it over there, if you've got Minecraft, as soon as somebody logs into Minecraft and 5 people are watching that video, the rest fall under it. And it just keeps going down and down and down. So if you got a guy up here with 50,000 people watching, the guy with 5 friends watching is way at the bottom, and nobody's going to scroll down there that far to see it because it's the way they do it.
Sucks.
Long form video. Well, see, here's the thing. So long form was the king on YouTube, and then the variety channel was the king, and then they mix in these shorts, and it's like they wanted to compete with TikTok.
Yeah.
And now, and then it went down to like a 10-minute, 8 to 10-minute thing. Well, now people are getting better analytics on 45-minute to 60-minute videos again. So that's kind of cool because we could even record something like this on a Saturday afternoon for 3 hours and cut it into 3 shows for the next 3 weeks because we got stuff to do. And then you could just play it as a stream or a premiere, you know, and interact with the chat. So that's kind of good. The shorts thing, it's like I tried to take, like Think Media would say, record your podcast on Friday, broadcast it on Sunday, do 2 shorts from it on Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's 7 pieces of content for 1 recording. I tried doing all that the best I could, you know, but it still ends up being a lot of work.
Yeah. I think I got the most views on a Walmart just short, like when I found a Spider-Man figure and I just put some music on and start spinning around, and it was like just dancing in the aisle because I found it, and I got the most views out of anything.
So random, man.
Like something just stupid. Like, and I don't know. It's just.
I mean, I have certain like there's certain shorts and stuff that I do that I know will attract more viewers. I've kind of got it figured out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say I got it figured out, but like I've noticed there's certain things that I'll do shorts for that do a lot better than other things.
Yeah.
So I kind of weed out some of them, but I mean, I still just, you never know, dude. One short, it's always some random thing, and it just like boom takes off.
And I think it's what you name it too, in the thumbnail too.
But like, I swear, if
the title has something to do with it.
You got to focus on shorts or you got to focus on long form. Like,
it's hard to do a combination of both.
You know, like if you want to be monetized, it's 2 totally different things.
Yeah. The most I made on monetization was $137 at once because they won't cut you a check until you've cleared 100. Yeah. It took me 3 months to clear that. It took me another 4 months to clear it again. I think I've gotten 3 checks from them, and I'm like, when I went back and looked at what the money was, it was the membership thing that I was basically paying for. So I was like, hey, I just gave myself my money back. I mean, I wasn't killing the super chats, but you know, at the same time, I watched a guy, Camelot 337, I think his channel. He had 200 subscribers, and he was telling stories about his days working at GameStop and stuff like that, and he would do it live like on Tuesday nights, and it was kind of fun. And he would always have like a story like that. And then there was stuff about his wife and him breaking up and different things. So he was being pretty personal, but it was just him sitting right here talking every week. Nothing, not no videos, no locations, no Walmart toy hunts, none of that. Just telling stories, talking,
Yeah.
and that's pretty relatable, you know. And he didn't have any guests for like that first year, and then all of a sudden, man, he blew up. He would do a video, then a short, and the short would just get him a bunch of subs. And next thing you know, he's got 200,000 subs, and then he's getting guests, and then he's doing two streams a week, and then he starts doing stuff on all these different platforms. So he's on Kick, or not Kick, Rumble, like two other places that hit him up to help him out or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, pick something and go for it, because otherwise you're just going to keep chasing stuff. But for me, I've always enjoyed gaming, so me and my buddy game. So I make little videos with him where I'll just record us playing. So I do that on its own channel because it's not even that often. The workshop stuff, I'm still debating on whether or not I can bring that back to my collecting channel, because I feel like right now it's so sort of rough form. Because I'm running around with my phone. I'm looking at stuff. It's shaky.
Yeah.
People can't hear me. I'm trying to find like a good way to do it, so it's kind of
Right.
better that I'm doing it somewhere else, and then I can come back over on the channel maybe and do it as a regular thing over there. So tomorrow, Justin Jacobs will be on with me, and it's gonna beam. I hope it works to the collecting channel and the crafting channel. So Rolando, what's up, buddy?
I was reading Geek Strong's comment up here, and I can't help to think this is a terrible idea, because you'll have so many. You won't be allowed in 10 feet of a school if you do this. Going through the toy, going through the
Yeah, but
toy.
he's in shape though.
Yeah, but still, walking through the toy aisle.
Hey, Dean, if I did that,
But
they'd
no
kick me
shirt
out. If
on.
you did that, they'd just ask you to put your shirt back on.
If they'd beg me to put my shirt back on,
They'd be like, "Sir, this is not a gun show.
yeah.
Please cover yourself."
But
Yeah,
I feel like if you just gotta stick with something, you gotta
yeah.
just
And you know, man,
just
can
keep going.
anybody really?
It might take a year, it might take 3 years, it might take 4 years, but if you keep
Can
doing it,
anybody really stick to one thing though? There's so much
you
shit out there that we all
what
like.
the only way to really truly stick with one thing and get it like down pat where is when you go full time. Like these guys I watch who travel in their van, and that's all they do. I mean, that's
There's
full,
something
they don't
different for them
have
to
a
see
job.
every
That's
day.
full
Yeah.
time. That's
Yeah.
it. You know, and if you can get to that point, and I don't even know if that's possible with this type of material that we do.
Who's the guy that Adam the Woo? He would travel around Southern California and show stuff, and people started sending him like PayPal donations for gas money. So then he'd go a little further and a little further, a little further. People donated to him so much that he was able to, he's like, I'm going cross country. And he would see all this different stuff. So it's like you never knew what you were going to see. So you'd watch his videos all the time. And it's like, how the hell's this guy got time to edit? Well, he was living in that van, doing it full time, you know? So yeah, it's a good point, man.
Yeah, I think that's truly the only way to really, really be able to like.
I don't know.
That's your job. You make enough money because you're getting. I watch these guys that are getting like over 100,000, 200,000 views on every one of their videos. I watched this one guy. I'm like, this guy just put his damn video out 15 minutes ago, and he's already got 30,000 views already. Like it's ridiculous. Like
that's that algorithm, though. It's pushing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's going to if they're consistently doing that. And it's like, you ever watch Penguin ZO, Charlie? So Charlie will just sit in the room just like me, and he'll comment on stuff that's going on the internet. You know, Epstein or Weinstein or something on a video game or whatever. And his videos consistently get 2 million views. So let's just say that's, for him, he's probably got some brand deals. So let's just say that's 10 grand a video. He's doing like 4 or 5 a week. Then on Friday nights, he does a podcast with his buddies for an hour at like 7:30, and it only gets like 400,000 views. Oh my God, 400,000 views.
Yeah.
But
You're only getting 8,000 for
It's like
that.
his break from but like
Right.
literally he'll just talk for 12 minutes about a shit show going on over on Twitch with somebody got busted having sex on a stream, and so he talked about it for a 10-minute video. He got 2 million views. He just made 10 grand
Just for talking about it, not
just for
even
talking
doing
about
it.
it. So he's
Imagine the guy
pulling
that was
in.
actually doing it.
So one time I figured out that he was pulling in around 400 grand a month
Yeah.
just making these
I
videos from
think,
his room.
I
But he
think
does it all the time.
one guy was explaining it and he was like, so he said, I got like 1 million views. That's about $17,000 that he gets. And now I don't know if that's across
higher
the
than
board or
normal
not.
RPM, because that should be about 5 grand for you or me. So
Yeah.
he's probably got just really good ad revenue coming in,
Mm-hmm.
but that's doable.
Yeah.
Some of those guys can get hundreds of thousands on a video that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even have 2 million views
Mm-hmm.
because they can set up brand deals and stuff. It's just that
There's
the
an
average.
audience for everything.
There is,
Oh, yeah.
there is. And here's the thing. For years, I've had a YouTube channel set up since like 2006. So for years though, I would just be like, oh damn, how do I fix this on my dryer? How do I hang these stairs? How do I set up stairs on the side of my house? Because I was
Dude,
doing
and
something
videos
outside.
like that do
I was
good.
never watching stuff for entertainment. I was looking for how to do stuff because I'd
Mhm.
Yep.
rather watch you do it. So
Yep.
if you can find a way to be informative and entertaining, you will pull them in. You will pull
Yep.
them in. But also, here's the other thing. In the last 5 years that we've learned is streaming. Like I don't have a cable box anymore. My TV, I can take my TV anywhere. I can watch the same channels on my TV, on my phone, in my car, across the
Mm-hmm.
country, around the world. The entertainment that people are getting is right here too. So maybe that's your bag. You always wanted to do a comedy show. You want to be an actor. Write that show and do it with two of your friends, and it might take off. Look at the guys. What's that one show? It's on Comedy Central. The three guys. Crap. It's kind of like The Office. Those guys
Okay.
started doing it on YouTube.
Oh, the workaholics or whatever.
Workaholics started
Yeah.
doing it on YouTube. It's
Oh,
Never
you
heard
they're
of.
never know where this shit can take you.
it's like 7 seasons in. Them dudes are banking. So it's
I'm
awesome.
mad at myself I didn't start doing this earlier. Man, if I would have been recording myself in high school, dude. Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
and
That'd have been
you
fun.
know what would have happened there for you is you would have hit those strides where you figured out what was working a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm.
So now you get that sort of FOMO thing where it's like, damn, I wish I would have done that. I do it too. It's like
Yeah.
I wish I would have done this 10 years ago, and I could have done stuff with my kids and done this and that. But you know, left coast. I mean, look in the chat right now. You have
Mm-hmm.
some of the coolest content creators here right now. Some of the coolest people that I have met in the 3 years I've been doing this are right here. So that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
And I appreciate all these guys. And for the most part, I could message any one of these guys, with the exception of a couple that I don't know, and say, "Hey, man, would you help me do a stream tomorrow?" And they might say yes. They might say, "Can we do it Wednesday? Can we do it Friday? Whatever." But they would all do it, and I would
Mm-hmm.
do it for them. These are some
Right.
cool ass people right here. So really, that's what it comes down to. After you do it for a while, is you stop caring so much about the machine and more about the people. And these are the guys that I love doing this with and
Yeah.
for. And I've had, some of these guys. I think one of you guys said it earlier. Like this, I've got more friends online here from
Yeah.
YouTube than in real life. But some of these guys have messaged me with real concerns about other guys. It's like real life stuff takes place, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's it's a really cool thing, and I would rather have that experience from it than worrying about making another $100 or $1,000. Like I'd be fine tomorrow giving up my monetization and going and being b bigger on TikTok just to get the gospel out about what I'm doing rather than worrying about the numbers. But
Yeah.
you know,
I think it's
um,
more fun to be able to
just to have more people
build
in
the
the party.
relationships and
Yeah.
if I go, like we were talking about going to the Chicago toy show, C2E2, I think it was
Hmm.
called. Like I could go there and meet up with Colin, meet up with you, meet up
Yeah.
with a slew of other people
Right.
Yep.
that I never met before,
But
and just
that's what's
and
cool is we know all these people.
yeah,
I mean, not even throughout the country, throughout the world. Like
yeah,
2
yeah,
years ago,
Definitely.
I didn't know anybody.
right, yeah. And for me to call a couple of my friends right now that live local it'd be like pulling teeth to get
Right.
together to go do
Oh
something.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. No, but I could call up so and so in New Jersey, and they'd meet me.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah,
There's
it's sad, but I mean, it's at the same time, I'm happy for it because I appreciate all you guys more
Dean, don't
than
lie.
I
You don't
do
eat donuts.
people that live around me. Like I said, it's like they don't want to do shit. It's like,
Right.
you know,
The
Yeah, donuts.
the
Come
other
on.
thing too, man, is like there's so many guys that are into Star Wars. Let's just start there because I know there's so many other things. There's guys into wrestling. There's guys into the wrestling action figures. There's guys into Power Rangers and GI Joes and Play School and all the old school toys and things like that. There's so many cool things like that to see. It's like almost like so nostalgic to look back
Mhm.
through some of this stuff on some of these channels. But there's so many guys like along those lines. Left Coast, Rick, he's in Canada, but he's got a company where he makes the pins, and
Mhm.
I've purchased some because I love the boxes and stuff. And he's an awesome guy, and he's into collecting. So like, here, I'll show you this. Because of him, this is his fault. I'm gonna throw this on here. He'll appreciate this. But like the
Oh, yeah.
retros,
Oh yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if I want to open it, but he's gonna hit me with the let him breathe. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do it with you on a stream, Rick. I can't bring myself to open them just yet. But the I wanted this guy because I can't afford him. The legit
Okay.
one, Yak Face. Um, and then like the other day, I was doing the stream and Dean was talking to me about making a diorama, and he sent me the link to his video, and I was watching it, and he's like, he made this like freaking Regan from The Exorcist,
Oh yeah.
like little diorama, and the
Yeah.
bed's moving and all this shit, and then he had like a
Nice.
Freddy head peeking on her. I'm like, how the hell are you doing all that? And
Right.
he said that his buddies and him did homework. They'd say, okay, for next week's stream, this is what we have to do. Let's see who comes out with the best one, or let's just see who can complete it, or whatever. The Exorcist Freddy bedroom, yeah, and it was amazing, man. So it's like I wouldn't expect that. So now I want to talk to him on my workshop while I'm making something and have him show me some of that stuff. And
Hmm.
I want Rick to show me how he does some of his designs and stuff. And he also has a badass collection of original trilogy stuff.
Nice.
And I'm saving up to buy his battle wagon,
Oh
the
yeah,
Ewoks,
Trey. I'll be
the
coming down as soon as I get on the road.
the
That'll be a
Ewoks battle wagon.
definite stop on my list.
Dre, like I don't know Dre. I've
Mhm.
seen Dre in some chats, but thank you, appreciate you, man. But so like when I come on to some shows like this, like I don't mean to take over, but it's like I like to talk about the YouTube side of things too, because all of that shit, you do need to understand how it works, and you do need to make a choice if you're going to chase it or not. And if you are, there is some cool ways to go about it. But you can be a solo person on your channel, but you really need to interact with some people in the community. So I feel bad sometimes when I can't make it to everybody's streams because I'm really busy doing my thing too, and I hope that that's the same case for them too when they can't make it to mine. And I think that's what happens. We all
I'm
just get
sure.
busy. We get
Yeah.
busy doing our thing,
I
and
Right.
mean,
that's fine.
you gotta
But
you gotta understand it. That it's
yeah,
impossible. I mean,
it is.
Yeah.
if
It
we were
Like
is.
you
to
said earlier, there's millions of.
There
if
is.
we were
Yeah.
trying to make all of our friends that we've made all their videos and everything, I mean, I'd have to give up everything and just do
I
that.
try to go. What I try to do is, if you got a playlist or something, I just try to go to the playlist and hit play and just let it run. And
Yeah.
if I'm doing stuff in the room, I can watch for a few minutes,
Oh yeah.
walk away while it's still
I do.
going.
I'll play their video like while I'm in the kitchen cooking, or
Put
like
it
when
on
I'm
TV.
cleaning. Yeah, put it on the
Mhm.
Yep.
TV.
Blue, see you later, buddy.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Blue.
But yeah, so if I'm in a stream of my own or with you guys or anybody, and I look at the chat and I just see those 3 or 4 guys, I feel really good. Like there's my people. I don't need nobody else here.
Right.
If I had 1,000 people here, those still would be the 4 that I'm talking to, that
Hmm.
Oh,
I'm doing it for.
Hmm.
right.
So I feel pretty confident to, like I said, take a break from my regular channel, try some other things, take some risks, learn some new things. I took a lot of time. So we have this, somebody donated a building to our local library a few years ago, and they rehabbed it and they made it like a learning center, and then they made it a makerspace,
Oh
they
yeah, I
call
remember
it.
Mhm.
So the
Center.
makerspace has a podcast studio, it has a photography studio, it has meeting rooms, it has drills, saws, CNC mills, 3D printers, laser cutters, spots where you can sit down and solder stuff, belt sanders, leather working stuff, sewing machines, vinyl cutting machines, heat presses. And what you do is you have to be a member of the library. Then you sign up for, the sewing machine, and you take a little 2-minute safety course. When you complete it, it says you're complete. You can now make an appointment to meet one of our instructors. You go meet the instructor, and all they do is they sit down and they say, "This is a box. This is how you open the box. Inside the box is this. You can take it out and play with it, and then you have to put it back in and close it like this and put it back." That's it. Now you're loose. Then you can get in on their website and book time on the things that you've trained on. So
Okay.
I go down there because I have the exact. So I actually schooled them a little bit on their podcast setup because I had all the same shit. I had the Rodecaster, I had the same mics, I had the Mac, and I was like, "Oh, you can do this." They're like, "I didn't know you could do that." I said, "Yeah, this." So I'll go down there sometimes and do my podcast when I'm doing it, just to have some quiet time, to do it,
Mhm.
and then maybe I'll start a 3D print upstairs and then come back down, do my podcast, go home, come back the next day after work and pick it up. And then that's where I got into learning the lasers and stuff. I was like, wow, I could do something here. And
Mhm.
they frown on you trying to do a small business out of their facility because they don't want you hogging the stuff from everybody. I was like, yeah, I
Right.
get it, But
Mhm.
if there's something new that comes my way and I want to try it, all I have to do is book time down there and go learn it and then come back and go, all right, now I can do this. So that's an awesome thing to have in your community. And I've heard of a lot of guys that have them, but they have to pay $60 to $100 a month to go to those places. And this is completely free. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
I
think
mean,
about
and
how many
Mhm.
people don't get to ever do this
this
stuff because
dude,
they can't.
my town barely has 25,000 people. So, um, that's a huge gift to whoever donated that. But
Yeah,
if you live next to some bigger cities, most of them have stuff like that you can go check out. You just have to
Right.
kind of search for it. But that's what got me into this other kind of mode to do a side gig because I was learning all these things because I'm older, I'm 51, and I was like, man, I still like these childish things, but I'm still
Mhm.
I'm still
Right.
feeling energetic. I feel good health wise. I need to get my mind off of some of these sort of grief stricken things that have happened to me in the last few years
Mhm.
and just take myself out of my comfort zone, learn some things, and
Have fun.
yeah, and have fun again. So I was
Mhm.
out doing that, coming home, going, "Hey, honey, look what I made in art class today," kind of thing,
Yeah.
and finger paints, and so
Yeah, it's
now I have
great.
all that. Pretty much have all that at the house now, and I'm doing vinyl lettering for a kick drum for a guy for his band.
Nice.
So I like that, and then he wanted
Yeah.
a cutting board, then he wanted some coasters, then he wanted a light, and then all this stuff.
Mhm.
Yes, it is the two of us now. Be
Just
gone.
welcome to no. The Rogue 2, right?
that, that effing
Yeah.
rogue show.
Effing rogues.
His
He's
camera was
using his
messing up.
phone. His computer shit the bed, so he's having a little
Uh,
issue. There he is.
my camera shit the bed on me 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
no, when
And that's
someone calls, it like shuts off your mic,
that's what happened to me last week.
and
Mhm.
you gotta go out and then come back in.
Yeah, that's another thing. People were not just you, Joe, but people ask me like, "What do you suggest I get for a setup?" And I'm like, "Use your fucking phone until you can't use your phone no more. Use your
Mhm.
phone until you're making so much money that you can afford to buy a brand new Mac. Don't
Yeah.
do nothing else till you can make money off it. Use that
Mhm.
phone because the cameras in these phones kick ass above anything that you would buy off the shelf for less than without, you know, you
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
get the quality you get out of your phones. You'd have to spend $500 to get out of a camera.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, they always say the best camera is your phone, the one you have
Nowadays,
on you all the time.
nowadays,
Yeah. Yeah.
they it looks great. They sound great. They pick up light much better than you have to
Mhm.
sit there and screw with stuff.
I
You know,
agree.
like right now, I'm using earbuds for the mic. I can
Mhm.
walk around and show you stuff and whatever. And they are also kind of noise canceling. So when I'm in the workshop stuff, if the laser machine's running, you can still hear me talking, and
Mhm.
I
it's
mean, you
not
can
Yeah.
annoying.
you can buy a whole rig for your phone, so you can add lights and shit to it if you want.
My
Everything like
my I have an iPad in a stand right here, and then I have my phone in front of it with the chat running. So, you know, you don't need a big fancy setup for stuff. And like I said, I used to do music production, so I had all this like studio gear, and then I went and got stuff to do podcasting with. And then at the end of the day, I didn't have to have it, you know. But it's like broadcast quality shit.
Mhm. He
But if
left the
somebody was going
studio.
to ask me today, like, what
Have a
should
good
I
night, Rex. Thanks for joining us.
later, brother? If somebody was going to ask me today, like, what do you suggest I get? I'd be like, use your phone, put it on do not
Yeah.
disturb for an hour. So what I did was, because I have the Roadcaster, it has a phone jack.
Mhm.
I would take the audio out of it and plug it into my phone
Okay.
and record the video with the phone with the perfect audio going into it. I wouldn't even have to edit the audio.
Oh,
It'd be
gotcha.
recorded on the
Yeah.
phone. Then I
Right.
just
That's
send it.
true. Yeah.
Then I would just send it to the Mac, edit it a little bit, add an intro
Boom.
to it.
Done.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And you get these people that are so particular. Oh, I gotta have the sounds, gotta be this and that. No, it doesn't. It just has to be loud and clear.
And nothing's gonna be perfect anyway.
No,
We know that for a
no. You
fact.
gotta
It's
you
not
gotta
gonna
let
be
that all
perfect.
go. You gotta let that perfection thing go. Especially if you like what Colin said, like if you want to be consistent and let's say you wanted to do let's just say for instance that you and I said, hey, let's do a Wednesday night show
Mhm.
for R5C. You can't do two things a week and sit there and expect like the same level of interaction and quality
Right.
twice a week. After a while,
Mhm.
it burns out your audience too.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you just let that stuff be and you just turn it on, you know it's working, then you're good.
Right.
You're good. I've
Yeah.
I've recorded hour and 45, 2 hours with my phone with audio into it, perfect streams that way. When I go down to the makerspace and do my podcast, I'll set it up for like 2:30, and I come through there from work around 20 after. I go
Mhm.
right in. You get a punch key number. You let yourself into the studio. I record with my phone, so it's high def video,
Mhm.
and I'm using the same setup as I have at home for the audio, and I just pop my memory card in that. Bring it home. I got perfect audio. I just sync it up to the video,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The phone's probably the best camera you can get because it's always on you too. It's always there.
well, it's easy,
Yeah.
like if you got you're interconnected with all your other devices. You got
Mhm. Yep.
cloud storage. I mean,
Yep.
Yep.
it
I've
just makes things easy.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
taken videos and sent them from my computer to my phone. Had a break at work. Edited the video on the phone, sent it back to the computer, posted it, or just did it all from the phone. I mean, I would tell anybody use the
Mhm.
damn phone,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, try to put as less money into it as possible.
Yeah.
Take money, don't get any.
Rick's beard is older than 29. That's funny. But my collecting really slowed down too in the last few months because I went on this big expensive trip to Alaska, and it was nice to just kind of clear my head about some stuff and decide what I want
Mhm.
to do. And what I really want to do is stop with the buying stuff just to have something for content.
Mhm.
So I got away from that
Yeah, that's a lot of people ran into that same
because I was doing that too. I
problem.
admit it. I admit it. And I have all of the vintage figures except for four.
Mhm.
So my goal this year is to just get those four. So in the meantime, what am I going to do my content on? Well, if I want to do content on collecting, it's just going to be about the old stuff that I already have, you know. And with putting time into this other stuff, I'm okay with taking that break till I get something.
Yeah.
I'm reading the content here. Dean does all his on the phone, record, edit, post on the phone. That's it, man.
Yeah, that's what I always did when
You
I
can
did my
green screen.
videos.
There's apps. There's free apps.
Mhm.
Joe was asking me today, like, well, if I'm gonna use my phone or for a camera, and I was like, man, get that Epoch Cam app for the iPhone. It's awesome. It makes your iPhone a webcam, and then I will say I do hate StreamYard's guts for their shitty audio and their camera choices. They dicked everybody and make you pay for adding the extra camera and stuff. So you can use OBS and kind of cheat that. But they do have their setup for the phones now is a lot better than it used to be. It's pretty cool. But there's another one called Prism Live because on YouTube, I think you have to have 50 subs to go live on your phone. But if you use Prism Live, you don't even have to have one, and you can go live on YouTube. So I always tell people about that little trick too. But that was stuff I was learning when I started, you know, and it's like I'm learning all that just to show myself collecting stuff. By the time you get to your collecting stuff, you're like, damn, I'm worn out. What do I
Right.
do?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Lax back. He's up in Anchorage, Alaska right now. But
Oh wow.
so when I first started interacting with him, he was doing some wild customs. He did this one where he took a vintage X-Wing and took the wings off and put like a 6-scale figure on it so it looked like a speeder bike. And I was
Oh
like, dude,
wow.
that's ice cold. You need to produce that. Like you need to mold that thing and make a bunch of them.
Yeah.
That is badass.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I can't even picture that. Like,
I know I can't.
And I've been pushing at him to get some more of that shit out. And he's up there in the snow, but
Oh man, I
when he
want to go
comes
to
back.
Alaska so bad.
I went on the Inner Passage cruise and stopped at a bunch of different cities, and it was pretty wild.
Yeah, I got to do that eventually.
Yeah.
Well,
Brett, man, thanks for joining us tonight, hanging out.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
I didn't mean to ramble so much about YouTube, but I didn't know what else we were gonna do, and I was like,
we didn't either.
It's all stuff. It's all stuff that we're all doing and dealing with.
Yeah,
and
it was fun, man.
We bring you on so you talk. I mean, so
yeah,
good.
Yeah. So yeah,
but,
I'm glad you could come on such short notice, but come back anytime, dude. You know, I'll talk to you tomorrow probably. Shit, I'll probably talk to you after the show. Who knows? We're always chatting here and there. So yeah, it was fun. Next week we got Freak Show Deluxe here. Freak Show Deluxe. Let's try saying that again. They are Freak Show Deluxe is a carnival style sideshow out of Hollywood, California.
Oh, sweet.
So they'll be with us next week. That'll be fun to learn about what they do. So
wait, I have to comment back on the comments here.
Okay.
Lack said that I shit the bed due to too much drinking. That's not true. That's not true. But I do have a quick story.
Okay.
I got drunk one time, passed out in the bed, woke up to being pushed out of the bed that I peed on my ex in my sleep. So
Jesus.
So I did a number 1, not a number 2.
Wow. Some people are into that though. So
you're
evidently not your ex. That's why she's the ex.
That's why she's an ex. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Well, thanks again, man. Like I said, next week Freak Show Deluxe. Talk to you soon, brother. For now,
see you guys.
That's what FM figures. See you next week.
Later,
Thanks
everybody.
for joining, everybody.